I loved Susan's reading
Yes.
a lot. And the line I loved in it is, my soul needed to dance. And I think it's really important that we surround ourselves with people who care about what our soul needs to do and loves us toward that, encourages us toward that. I think that's what we're here for. So why do I come here? What is this place about for me, right? So I want to share a little personal story about spiritual practice, because that's what's up for me. If I'm going to live as a spiritual being, I have to practice, right? So it's easy to be loving, kind, generous, forgiving, all of that stuff right here. Y'all look great. Y'all look amazing. It's easy. It's easy. But as you know, or as you may know, we are continuing to work on a house that we are renovating. And the inside is done, and now we're dealing with the outside, right? So what that means, if you've never done a renovation project, let me remind you what it means if you have. What that means is that we are dealing with contractors and subcontractors every day, guys who show up, guys who may not show up, guys who miss deadlines by weeks, causing us to push other things back, expecting them to arrive at 10:30, y'all coming? Oh no, we can't come today. There's a thing in me called an ego. It rises, right? Bottom line is I don't have control. And this is a fabulous petri dish for my ego to bloom and blossom into full. And right in the middle of the frustration and disappointment and anger, and sometimes I don't wake myself up quick enough for that to not spill over, right? Thankfully, sometimes I do, but most often I do, I wake up and remind myself that everyone's doing the best they can in the moment, and that my job is to love, period. So as I said, usually I'm able to maintain my spiritual centeredness and calmness until I'm not, right? Until I'm not. So, Terry and I had a great laugh, actually, because she pointed out that I'm usually just so positive and kind, and then something tips me off balance, and her words were, you become a rebellious teenager. And then she began to imitate my language and the things I was saying, and we just cracked up, right? So I tell you that to let you know that we absolutely have to practice. We have to practice constantly to be a source of light and love in the world, beyond these walls, right? Out there. So my reason for being in spiritual community is to practice and practice so that I can stay centered in peace and love and kindness as a spiritual being, instead of being full out in my ego all the time. I'm in community with all of you so that we can remind each other that life is good all the time, no matter what. And there's this constant journey back and forth between ego and soul, ego and soul, ego and soul. And we know it's ego. Wondering if you're in your ego or your soul, it's ego when we're insulted that we weren't respected, right? Our soul has never been disrespected, never been forgotten, never disappointed, all that stuff. Man, my ego. Whew. I'm always having to wake back up spiritually, stay centered, be kind, be gracious, all of that. And this ministry for me is about helping others stay awake spiritually too. That's what community is for. So, before we get on with our business meeting later this morning, I want to get us all on the same page about what this community is. So since we all joined this community at different points along the way, I thought maybe we should review what we're all about. What are we here for? So in the ministers' tools that they send out for the theme for every month, this is what it said for today. It said, today we ground in the truth of who we are and our vision of who we are becoming, letting that inform every thought, word, and action. So let's ground. Let's ground in the truth of who we are and all that this is as a community, and then turn towards it as individuals and ground that truth kind of within ourselves. So 13 years ago or so, 13 years and a few weeks ago, this spiritual community was found to be a place where people could come together to learn the science of mind, that philosophy, and how to live it every day. So we're here to help you basically find greater joy through living spiritually. even surrounded by all the people and contractors and people out there, right? It's always there. So our shared vision statement is this. We envision a world that works for everyone. We envision a world that works for everyone. So that statement means that everything we do should be to move us closer to a world that works for all humanity and the living planet, every sentient being, everything. A world that works for everything. And if you're here with us, we invite you to kind of keep that vision in your mind. And know that, since that's also the global vision for our organization too. So know that people all over the world are seeing that vision with us. A world that works for all. So the Center for Spiritual Living Tampa Bay purpose statement is this: to awaken the people of Tampa Bay to their own spiritual magnificence. Think about that for a second. This statement means that everything we do should be done to help the people around us wake up and realize that they are magnificent souls having human experiences. And this purpose guides our decisions about what we offer here. What do we do here? What kinds of activities do we do? What projects do we plan out in the wider world? And hopefully you can see that that is our purpose for whatever we're doing. So then what's our mission statement? Our mission statement is to provide spiritual tools for personal transformation and help make the world a better place. Pretty clearly defines what we're all about, right? We create programs and teach about spiritual tools and practices that you can utilize on your path of transformation. Because as we all transform, we each help make the world a better place. It's our mission to embrace you, to teach you, to model spirituality for you, and help you make your world a better place. So I'm assuming that those three pieces, the vision, the purpose, and the mission, were written, I'm assuming about 13 years ago, back then, around the founding of the center. And then about 8 years ago, right before I got here, the community adopted the core values that we acknowledged during the flame ceremony this morning, those core values on the top of your program: growth, love, gratitude, community, spirituality, integrity, joy, prosperity, inspiration, and wholeness. Right? And during the flame ceremony, I invited each of you to consider, how do those words play out in your own life and your experience of being here with all of us? And we hope that you share those values with us. The bottom line is, we're about love. God is love. Love is God. That is how we awaken people to their spiritual magnificence, one person at a time, through love in action. And where do those persons come from that we're loving one at a time? Each one of us loves one person we know at a time. This community extends our love through you to the world around you every day. See, in order to live what we say we are here, we have to live this path of unconditional love in our lives, in our individual lives, and love those people in our lives no matter what. We're on a quest to individually learn how to love everyone. Love those who have hurt us. Love those who confuse us. Love those who irritate us, reject us, refuse to forgive us, stole from us, lied to us, all those people. And those who've helped us. Those who touched our hearts and they're delightful neighbors, or the best college buddy ever, our best friends, or our first love, our second love, every love after that, right? That's a big assignment. And then shared animals and children and all of those things. We've created 1 million memories with people, right? Those are the people that we're invited to love. Those people too. And my talk title is All Together Now, because today is an invitation for all of us to join together and help each other be the love that transforms everyone we touch, collectively and individually. All together now, let's begin to see everyone as their spiritual self. Because when we do that, when we can look at people and see their soul, see them as their soul, we can love anybody. Let's begin to live as if people loved us. because we can see their soul self and know that their original soul self does love us. It's that human ego thing that gets in the way of them loving us and us loving them. And when we know that that ego is coming from a place of brokenness or disappointment or all of the things, pain that we come in life, we can know. You know how I know? Because it's that way for me too. How do I actually do that, Reverend Laine? You know, I don't love everyone around me. I don't know how. Anybody relate to that? I don't know how. This is for you, Keith. You know, I find it hard on a daily basis to love everyone around me too, right? And when these kinds of things happen, like the contractors and all of that, I invite myself and I invite you actually to drop into your spiritual self. Anchor yourself as your soul. You're a soul, and everyone else is a soul. Then just start with the people closest around you. Start with the people that share your living space. Start there. Your work life, your neighborhood, your family table, those people, start there. Start with those immediately around you, and then see each one of them as a beautiful soul, doing the best they can in any situation. You know what? They haven't always been their best, and you haven't always been your best either, right? Let's extend grace to ourselves and to them. See their original self. Look beyond their ego self. Let's forgive and release pain. And if it seems too overwhelming, just take one tiny person at a time and start there. You know, one possible mantra that I invite you to adopt is, I choose to love no matter what. I choose to love no matter what. Or at the end of a complaining session about this person or that thing or whatever, conclude with, and I still choose to love. And I still choose to love. Right now for me, that sounds like this job is not getting done on time. These workers are driving me crazy. I'm frustrated, but I still choose to love no matter what. And if I can't feel it in this moment, give me a few moments and I will feel it soon. It's practice. It's practice. But if each one of us chose just one person to love unconditionally, no matter what, we would double the amount of those loved unconditionally right away. If we committed to seeing one person's spiritual magnificence in a new way today, there would be a lot of spiritual magnificence revealed today. All together now. Let's begin. So if our collective vision is a world that works for everyone and the planet, let's look around all together now. Let's look around us and notice when something isn't working for someone or for nature for that matter, and do one small thing or one giant thing differently. If you look around your world and notice someone is not included, include them. When you see an animal or a plant that needs help them. Invite someone to the table that hasn't received their invitation yet. The real message here is that spiritual people who understand the truth of oneness understand that by helping one, we help all. Spiritual people know that when one does better, all of us do better. When another feels more love, we all feel more love. And if our purpose here is to provide you with spiritual tools for transformation, let's share the tools we've learned by publicly using them. Let's forgive out loud. Let's express gratitude out loud. Let's verbalize the truth of oneness out loud. Let's use affirmative prayer and speak about something bigger than the problem at hand. Out loud. Let's talk about how we have been healing and transforming through spirituality out loud. Because if you imagine that every person around, think about this, every person around carries a toolbox. I was talking about this in Sacred Cow. We carry around a toolbox of things that we can use in life circumstances. And if you looked in your imaginary toolbox, you probably have some new tools that you put in there from being around here, right? Before awakening to spirituality, most people only have a few tools. One of them is a hammer of judgment. And a chainsaw of fear. Oh, swipes that out of my life. I'm afraid of that, right? When things aren't going smoothly, cutting it out. Something goes wrong and I either pound the hell out of it or I just cut it out of my life, right? There are other tools, but pretty much those are the go-to selections until we learn some other things. But here, we put some things in your toolbox, like affirmations and affirmative prayer and gratitude and forgiveness and peace of mind, patience, meditation, so many things, understanding, grace. In the middle of a conflict, just pull some of those tools out and model for others a way to cope with the anxiety and stress of life that we all face. From a spiritual perspective, helps a lot. If we did that all together now, not just in this building with each other, but in our daily lives out there, we would become a walking example of how CSLTB changed our lives, in our place of work, in our families, in our neighborhoods, in all the places we go every day. Because as you transform the relationships you're in and the circumstances you are a part of. Right? And what about our shared values? If you look at them in your program, does your life reflect those values? Would those around you say, these are the values you live by? Are these the values on display in your interactions with others? All together now, let's live them. Let's live them. So I'm going to ask Keith to pass around the offering baskets. And I want everyone to take out one of these small battery-operated candles and just hold it in your hand. Just hold it in your hand. And when you get yours, just flip the switch on the bottom to turn the candle on. And if you're watching at home, take a moment to find a candle and to light it to be a part of this with us. So now that everyone has one, you can see that they pulse out a different color moment to moment. I chose those purposely because they change. They're constantly changing. They're always beautiful. And I chose these candles that change colors to remind us that we're all individuals. We're diverse in so many ways, right? Just like the world that we live in. We celebrate each person's unique way of showing up. And I want us to have a meditation together now. And so you can either soften your gaze and kind of look at your candle in your lap, or you can close your eyes if you like. But I want you to see the candlelight as a symbol of the essence of your soul. Your inner light that burns continuously from the moment you are born, filling the space within you with love and acceptance. You just feel that light inside your very being, changing colors perhaps, but always remaining just bright and beautiful. No matter what is happening outside you, within your heart and soul, there is only light and love. Just to sit in that awareness for a moment. Now envision that inner light moving out and emanating out into the space around you. Just see it filling your energy field. It shines out in front of you, to the left of you, to the right of you, above your head and down into Mother Earth. It extends to the people sitting closest to you, and it blends with their light too. In your mind's eye, see how the light brightens when it shines together with another soul's light in the shared space. More light and more love, pulsing with color and diversity and individual expression, but always light and love. Now picture all of our lights filling this room completely. One collective soul energy of light and love radiating in this sanctuary and out into the other rooms. See the light and love enveloping Remy and Heather and the kids' faces out in the fellowship hall. This building is completely filled with our spiritual light and collective love. Strong and sure and varied and colorful, but only light and love. Imagine this pulsating rainbow of unconditional love and radical acceptance shining out from this building into the neighborhood around us. See it moving down the streets, embracing every person it encounters, every animal, every bird, every car, every plant and tree. Light and love and acceptance and gratitude and peace and joy extending out from us to the entire Tampa Bay area. We shine. We simply shine. And make sure you envision this light flooding through your own home, wherever you live. See it moving into your place of work and those spaces where you spend your time. Watch the light melt away any tension or confusion. See the smiles that come to the faces of those this light passes over. See their heads turn upward as if facing the sun itself, radiate life and love. Now see the light going out further and further, shining on the whole state and country and planet. Light and love covering every ocean, every mountain, every village, every city. So much healing light. So many radiant colors of love shining on every battlefield, every hospital, wherever there is human pain, but also lighting up every room where birth is taking place, where love is being celebrated in a wedding, where hands are being held for the first time or the last time. Light and love. Enjoy that vision, radiating out from your own soul, your own light, represented by the candle in your hand. All together now, we are awakening to our own spiritual magnificence, and that vision is a world that works for every person and every sentient being in every piece of our universe. All together now, we are light and love. And we as a community, we have the opportunity to do this very kind of work together. Think of your many memories or few memories of this spiritual family. If you just got here today or recently, just think about who greeted you, or the first musician you heard, or perhaps someone who said goodbye before you left the first time. And if you've been around for any amount of the past 13 years, I invite you to recall faces and names of people you have loved and supported and prayed for and shared coffee with and services and activities with. Even if they aren't here today, they're still a part of our community because they left some of their energy here, and it shines through your candle. Let's hold that energy in beauty and love and be good stewards of it. Hold them in your mind of love and gratitude and understanding. Hold the world in your mind of love and gratitude and understanding. And as you bring your consciousness back to this time and space, bring it back to yourself and look at the light you hold in your hand. As you gaze into that light, place into your light the name of anyone or any place you intend to take your light, your love, your values, your own personal mission, vision, and purpose going forward, all together now. Collectively, we are a light. And to create a symbol of this, I invite each of you to bring your candle up and place it on the table here at the front. We are a light. If you know the song, sing with me. I am a light. I am a light. I am a light in this world. I am a light. I am a light. I am a light in this world, and I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright, and I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. You are a light, you are a light. You are a light in this world. You are a light. You are a light. you shine, and you shine so bright, and you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright. We are a light, we are a light, we are a light in this world. We are a light, we are a light, we are a light in this world. And we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright. And we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright. Thank you. So as we have our community meeting after the service, this table will shine with our collective love and light. And we will be divinely guided to step into something greater all together now. Because we can't just heal ourselves with this teaching, this outlook on life. We can add light rays of healing wherever we go. And I want to close with a poem written in 2022 by Audrey DeFay, and it's titled Enough. And may this poem remind you that you are up for the calling that Spirit has placed on your heart and on your soul, and this community's heart and soul. You are enough. And it goes like this: you are enough. Divinity flows in your fingertips with light so radiant, every beat of your heart a victory march, made of whole universes, stitched by the hands of creation with flawless design. A prophecy you fulfill perfectly with every breath you. The sun wouldn't shine the same without it. Creation is only waiting for you to smile back at it. Do you see it? You are enough for the birds to sing about, for the seeds to sprout about, for the stars to shoot about. Do you see it yet? Gardens in your speech, fields of wildflowers in your prayers, lighthouses in your eyes. No one else can see it for you. You have always been enough. You will always be enough. Your simple act of being is enough. Do you see it yet? And so it is. So it is. Thank you. We are a light. We are a light. We are a light in this world.